Hi everyone, it's Anlita, also known to all of you as Wrapped in Education. I have a few tips for you today on how you can have a positive start to your school year. The very first tip that I have for you is to establish limits and boundaries. I know that may sound a little harsh, but the best thing you can do for yourself and for your students and the staff around you is to know your boundaries as far as what you're comfortable with personally and as far as what you're comfortable with professionally. A great example of that is teachers are often asked to join committees and or spend time before or after school. Know your schedule, know your family situation, and know your limits and boundaries so that you can make a positive decision in saying yes or no to that. The second tip I have for you is to know your school policies, know your district policies, and review your handbook thoroughly. One of the things that gives me great anxiety is when I'm presented with something and I don't quite know the answer, or I'm presented with something and I feel as if I'm doing the wrong thing. That can create great anxiety. And if you already are well versed in your district and schools, buildings policies, then you will definitely diminish the amount of anxiety that you have. You'll be much more confident in your walk. The next area that I'd like to address, number three, be positive with staff and teachers. So, one of the things that I like to do to kind of diminish my anxiety is that I find someone to love on. If I'm focused loving on my students to begin with, and then I'm focused loving on that teacher that I've chose to love on, then I don't have a whole lot of room to worry about what I'm doing right or doing wrong. And the energy is absolutely amazing. The next tip I have for you guys, number four, is to recognize a toxic environment. I make that face for a reason. like many of you, have been privy to a toxic environment, and I kind of walked into it with my eyes closed. So, there are some basic signs that you're in a toxic environment. If your stomach is kind of turning, or you're just feeling uneasy about a conversation, or maybe you hear things being said about someone who's not present to defend themselves, or there's just negative talk about the building in general, that may be your cue to exit. I am notorious for being very social, but I will also avoid sometimes the teacher's lounge because the teacher's lounge can be a source of some of those conversations that we would prefer not to have when we should be taking care of ourselves and enjoying our lunch in a positive manner. I hope you guys enjoy those tips and ways that I'm choosing to reduce anxiety in the classroom. And I hope you guys have a wonderful start to your school year. Blessings.